Hello, my name is Veronica Ryan, and obviously everyone here takes at least one online class, but do any of you take more than one?
Yes.
And how many do you take?
Currently 3.
And do you find it easier or more difficult than face-to-face?
More difficult.
Okay. And how many do you take?
2.
And do you find it easier or more difficult?
Much easier.
Okay. Well, today I'd like to discuss online classes and how even though they may seem more convenient, in my opinion, online classes are actually much more difficult than face-to-face classes. I'm currently taking 3 classes through the College of Central Florida, and I know that trying to manage online classes with the rest of everyday life can be really stressful. In taking online classes, you lose out on the availability of a teacher. You also lose out on the social aspects of school, and it's harder to manage your time. First, let's take a look at the way you lose out by not having a teacher available to you the same way that face-to-face classes do. By taking online classes, you don't have a scheduled time to meet with your teacher each week. And although this may seem like only a minor issue, several problems can actually arise from it. Although Thomas L. Russell, the author of No Significant Difference, believes that online class teachers are more readily available to help students, in my experience, this has not been the case. For example, in one of my online classes, it's very hard to get a quick response from one of my teachers. So if I don't understand an assignment or I need help with a question that might be on a test, sometimes my teacher won't look at the question I have until after I had to take the test or after the assignment was due. And this gets really frustrating because it affects your grade. Another problem that can occur from no teacher is no lecture, so it's all visual learning and no audio learning. A study found on Hub Pages explained that teachers should learn from interaction with their students what the individual student's best learning style is. With the class being online, it's all visual learning. So for some students, this is great because that is their learning style, but most students learn best with multiple learning styles. With the class being online, it also makes tests harder because if a teacher assigns you chapters to read in a textbook with no notes, sometimes it can be difficult to determine, do I take notes on this or maybe I should focus more on this section. So it's just hard to determine what you're supposed to be taking notes on. Next, let's move on to the social aspect of online classes. Not having students in a classroom may be viewed by some as a positive, but some students can actually really benefit by having students in the class, whether they realize it or not. Face-to-face classes often offer study groups while online classes don't. Also, if you don't understand something the way a teacher is explaining it, there's sometimes class discussions in face-to-face classes. There are sometimes online discussion boards where students can talk about an assignment or ask questions if you don't understand something, but sometimes it's easier if you talk to someone face-to-face than just reading it through text. Lastly, and most importantly, I like to talk about the motivation and time management in taking online courses. The hardest part about taking online classes is the time management required. A lot of students take online classes because they can do work on their own time. Most people don't realize how much time you have to put into school online. Students who have jobs or families to take care of probably don't realize this when first signing up. By taking online classes, you're more likely to fall behind. It's much easier to procrastinate because if you don't have to go to the class weekly, there's not that constant reminder of this is due then and you should be working on it. Or for example, I work 30 hours a week and I'm trying to get in shape to play basketball at the college level next year. So there's certain times that I do put aside for homework, but sometimes I'll just push it back because I'm too tired. Of course, school is my number one priority. Of course, school is my number one priority, but by not having to go to class, I think that it makes it easier for me to push off the schoolwork. A student from Bellevue College talks about the time and self-motivation needed to take an online class. She stated, "I wish I had known how much self-motivation it takes to do well in an online class. By now I've gotten it down, but at first it was hard to treat it like a normal class and sign in every day. When I first began, I only checked every few days. Now I have to check multiple times a day just so I don't overwhelm myself." In conclusion, I believe that you should think very carefully before you make the decision to take online classes. I think you should understand the time and commitment you have to make to do your schoolwork because you have no in-class time. In taking online classes, you lose out on the availability of a teacher. You also lose out on the social aspect of school, and you will find it very difficult to manage your time. Some people may think that online classes are more convenient, but I believe if you have the choice, face-to-face classes are the better way to go. Thank you.